We welcome you back to Grace Hall in the campus of Lehigh University. Shel Siegel and Larry Sheridan bringing you the action. Lehigh out in front of Cornell by a score of 13-0. Now at 1:42, Eric Speed on the mat from Chagrin Falls, Ohio, a freshman. And his opponent, Jim Frick, for Lehigh. Frick is a senior from Columbia, New Jersey.
Well, in that situation, Frick gains the takedown, and Speed comes back with all due speed and gains an escape.
We're neutral. We're neutral.
Do you think his nickname's Speedy, Shell? I wouldn't get into that. Now there's a combination that ought to be measured in a situation that could give a takedown, give a pin, but no takedown. The control, it's difficult to assess. There's still a neutral position, and now he's given the takedown because of the exposure to the back. Frick's got.
I don't think I've seen this one, Larry, in a long time. This is a really oddball.
I'll tell you, that thing worked itself out into a situation that
3 points. 7-1.
I think Jim's brother, Mike Frick, would even have to smile at that, try to figure out what did the kid brother come up with.
You know, that kind of, I don't think you could reproduce that if you really wanted to. 7-1, and the escape makes it 7-2. Larry, you started a comment, but it happened so fast on the headlock fall over there. You started a comment why that was so difficult to make a fall out of.
Usually it's because you're locking around the head, and by the way, you have to have an arm, which he did, and your elbow is the fulcrum that's usually under the shoulder pit, or under the neck. Excuse me, now they're under the shoulder. And you're just, the guy's really resting on your elbow. And you've got to get him down.
You guys working down here?
I'll tell you what, a lot of times it's pure submission that gets him down.
All right.
You just keep wiggling and wiggling like a snake, and you go, and down you go.
9-2 lead for Jim Frick. He has really stacked up the early points here at 142.
You're down here, you're not moving, stalling, bottom man.
Stalling call on Cornell wrestler Eric Speed. Lehigh won last year against Cornell by the score of 51-0.
Let's go.
And a little bit behind that pace right now, although the Engineers hold a major, a regular decision, and a fall in the first three.
Frick, a senior, wrestling a freshman. Eric Speed out of Chagrin Falls, Ohio.
Well, Larry, although it won't make much of a difference probably in this match, it looks like it's going to be the kind of season where Lehigh will have to get those big points out of those early wrestlers if they are to win a lot of their dual meets this season. Period ends. Let's take a look at the wrestling coming up on Channel 39 during December. We want to remind you, we will be at Wilkes College to bring you the Lehigh Wilkes meet, and then we'll have it back for you on Sunday morning, December 7th at 11 a.m. So if you can't make it up to Wilkes this coming week, I believe it's Tuesday night, then stay with us next Sunday when we'll have all the action for you here on Channel 39 starting at 11 o'clock in the morning.
Then, of course, you didn't mention that next one, did you?
No, we're not going to talk about that for a while.
Okay.
That was the Iowa match. It went by kind of fast. Was it you, Larry, that mentioned that if Iowa, in your opinion, if all the guys, the young men who didn't make the Iowa first team were to become a team, they would probably be the #2 team in the country?
Probably would. Absolutely. Although Iowa was finally dumped toward the end of last year by Iowa State in a dual meet, they still prevailed at the NCAA tournament.
Minute and a half to go. Second period. Jim Frick out in front, 9-2.
Stop there. Get off easily.
When it comes to wrestling, Shell,
There's a stalemate. Let's go. Two guys now.
I think if you stay out of what you refer to this wrestle the so-called lower 48, stay out of Oklahoma and Iowa, you can have yourself a pretty successful season.
All right, son, let go of that elbow and put it on right. Okay, get it on. You put the palm on there. Don't rang it.
It's amazing. You look at Jim Frick, a really remarkable resemblance to his older brother.
Have to kid him this year. He's been fortunate to have the shoulder injury is healed, and we haven't seen him without tape for a while. He's kicking around trying to get a reversal, but Control still blessed with speed of Cornell.
No, it's here.
9-2 lead. Frick does not have a minute's time advantage.
Wonder if there's another Fritz around Penn State that Jim might want to wrestle like his brother did.
Well, I tell you, now I've since retired out of Bethel Steel and working out at the Allentown Bethel Easton Airport with Jack Yohe.
Let's go, top man.
We have a gentleman on our staff named Frack.
1, 2.
And every now and then, Jack Yohe calls me Frick and calls Frack exactly that. Calls it we're the combination of Frick and Frack. Because I'm talking about Bruce Frack, who used to wrestle at Northampton under Harry Wall. So Jack Yohe has his combination of Frick and Frack. 30 seconds left. Lehigh enjoying a 13-point lead at this point in the 142-pound class. First dual meet of the season for both Lehigh and Cornell.
Half a minute to go, second period. Jim Frick with a long 9-2 lead. In command in this bout, nearly ends up on his back.
Yeah, he went for an inside switch, and Speed stepped over with a outside anchor and held him there.
Period running out.
He does use his legs. Time advantage is dead even as the second period comes to an end.
Stop. Back in center.
Period concludes. Frick out in front, and there you see Thad Turner and Jim Riley. Another great wrestler for Lehigh in the 167-pound class.
Jim is assistant coach to Lehigh this year. Or associate coach. I really don't know how they said it, but anyway, he's here helping out. And your cousin is now here at Lehigh.
Let's go, let's go.
On the end there with the red tie. Gary.
Neutral.
Syracuse?
You got it.
Well, he's no relation to me, but it's interesting to see him on the Lehigh bench. He had some good seasons up there at Syracuse.
Very tough wrestler. Very fine gentleman, and I'll tell you, I'm happy to have him up there in that wrestler room helping out, beating up on those freshmen and sophomores. Instead of Lieberman coming up and doing it.
Stalemate.
11-3 lead, Jim Frick.
Let's go.
Mark's too busy parenting to come up to the Lehigh room as much as he used to. And
there you see Gary Siegel, former great wrestler at Syracuse University, for a split second. 13-0. Lehigh out in front over Cornell.
What was for a split second? His career or just the view?
No, it was just the shot.
Oh.
It was his career.
Let's go.
13-3, a 10-point lead. Time advantage.
We do know some wrestlers, though, who had careers that seem like split seconds.
Nice to be in such a good mood at the beginning of the season, Shell. Now we have a stalling. Now we got 1 point. Make that score 14-3.
Let's go. Let's
and
go.
If he rides out this period, he will get a point on time, he being Jim Frick.
Of course, Syracuse is going to be down here to wrestle this season. You'll get another opportunity to talk about cheapies and the like.
Can't do cheapies anymore. We can talk about it.
Well, we can call it that.
There's a nice trap. Got a near fall coming out of that one for sure.
He's got him in some deep trouble, but there's only 10 seconds left.
Nice bridge held in there by Eric Speed, but I don't think he's going to maintain. You get a 3-pointer in there plus time. That'll be a superior decision. And it becomes it just made it, Shell. The time advantage just made a 15-point technical fall.
So we'll look at the last move that earned that 6th point. If you win by 15 or more.
Well, he had
18.
Chad Watkins coming in at 150.